Hello, today we're installing the shingles on this roof. I'm going to be using what's called a 3-tab shingle. It's the most economical in the market and the easiest to install. So let's get started. So I give the roof a quick look over. I'm looking for any nails that's sticking out, and I want to make sure it's a smooth surface to start off. Then I go on to install the roof underlayment, but before I drag up this heavy roll, I cut just what I need in the ground and then bring that up to the roof. Now, there are a few different types of roof underlayment, and they are measured by weights. The most common are going to be your 15 weight or 30 weight. For a shed, it doesn't really matter. You can pick the most economical for you. The roof paper are going to have lines on them. And then you make sure that these lines are facing out because you're going to use them as guides when installing the shingle. And for the same reason, you want that paper straight as possible, so when you install the shingles and follow the lines, they're pretty straight. To nail down the paper, I use these plastic cap nails. They're pretty inexpensive, and I try to stay away as much as possible from stapling the paper. You're gonna see some people that do staple them. I do not recommend it. One, it rips off the paper, it corrodes, and sometimes the manufacturer will void the warranty of your roof if you do that. When installing the next layer of roof paper, make sure to overlap the previous one with at least 3 inches. When nailing the roof paper, I always try to nail around 12 inches or so apart, and always remember to be safe when working on a roof. And I prefer to install the drip edges after I'm done with the paper. That's because on the front and the back, the drip edge needs to go on top of the paper. And on the side of the sheds, the drip edge needs to go underneath the paper. When you reach the roof peak, you want to avoid any seams in the area. The way I do it is I follow the angle of the roof, I mark and cut that off. Then I bend it and tuck it inside. That way you have a continuous run and you avoid any water intrusion at this point. And to secure the drip edge in place, I nail the drip edge every 12 inches. And whenever overlapping the drip edge, I make sure to overlap with at least 1 inch. In the corners, I like to cut a 45-degree right on top of the drip edge. Underneath these, I cut a straight line. This will create a tab that's about 1/2 inch long. I bend the tab inside, providing a nice and tight corner. I take my time and I go around installing the drip edge because it is a very important feature of the roofing system. And now it's time to install the starter strips. This box comes with 33 feet of starter strip. This is not enough to cover the whole shed. But let's start with this and I'll show you how you can use the shingles if you run out of starter strips. The starter strip comes with adhesive on the back, which is pretty handy. So all you have to do is peel off the plastic and stick it on the roof. You do want to make sure that the roof glue is on the bottom side of the starter strip. Additionally, I do add a nail every few feet. When you get to a corner, you want to cut this at a 45-degree angle. That way you have continuous roof glue around your corners. Whenever I'm doing roof work, I always stop by the store to pick up hook blades for my utility knife. This is a must when working on the roof. And to help you not have to go to the store multiple times, I added a link to the description below with a shopping cart loaded with all the materials used here today. This will save you hours from shopping. And also you have the option to have it delivered, which is very handy, especially on how heavy roofing shingles are. And now that I ran out of starter strip, I'm gonna make my own using shingles. I cut the 3 tabs of the shingles and I use the top piece of the shingle as a starter strip. When doing this, since they don't have adhesive on the back, I want to make sure to add about 4 or 5 nails per shingle. In the same way as before, in the corners, I cut 45-degree off to have continuous roof glue along the roof line. It's time to bring up some roofing material and then we can start roofing. Alright, so we start with the full shingle. On a 3-tab shingle, you want to have 4 nails. one in the beginning and one on top of every notch of these. So you want to install these with 1/4 inch to 3/4 inch overlap on the drip edge, both the side and the bottom. Make sure it's nice and square going down, right here, nice and level, straight going down. And you add 4 nails on a 3-tab shingle. On the second layer, you want the shingle to overlap. When I say that, put this over here. You do not want this cut on top of the cut. You want to intersect them. You want them right in the middle. So it goes right here. This cut goes in the middle. And you want to cover these nails up with the shingle above it. Now when you get to the end here, you obviously know you're running out of space. So you bring in your nail and you nail just on the end. You take the next one and you follow that line. Same as before, make sure it's going down straight. Okay, so the next one, you want to stagger this. So the first one was here, second one is here, third one, you want it right here. You want to make a stairs. And you want to keep doing this all the way up. You can definitely shingle this roof with a hammer. But if you think of getting a nail gun like this one, or any tools I used here today, I have a link in the description with my favorite tools shared with you guys. Make sure you take advantage of using the lines on this paper.
Overall, it's not too tricky installing shingles on the roof. It's just very labor intensive. So make sure you pick a day with really good weather, and if possible, ask a friend for help. My biggest problem was climbing up and down the ladder throughout the day. Having a second person handling material and picking up that tool when you drop it, it's really helpful. When you're done installing shingles, you need to install the ridge cap. A ridge cap can be made from a shingle. You have to cut it straight between the notches. For me, I prefer to cut in an angle so the installation is much easier. And to install the ridge cap, you need to add a couple screws, one on each side, and stagger them going down the ridge. At this point, you cut off the excess shingles that's hanging off on the side, and also give a quick walk around checking out the shingles you just installed.
And now with the roof done, I'm going to get ready and install that window next and trim out the whole shed. If you want to check that out, you can find it right here. If you want to check out the whole build, check it out right here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.